What's up, guys? Eddie here, coming to you live from Waterloo. Today I want to quickly talk to you about communicating. See, in today's world, if you notice, even just walking down the sidewalk, that a lot of people have their heads down, they don't chat with people. Even when you go out, a lot of people make it awkward nowadays to go and talk to them. So I want to give you guys 6 different rules on communicating with people, because if you can communicate with someone effectively, especially if you're in business, your business will flourish because it's people that build businesses, not products. And on top of that, even if you're just an average person, maybe a woman or male or female or male, single, you want to go and find that other person, well, communicating effectively can have a huge benefit in that field as well. And even if you're just someone that wants to build relationships and just have a big circle of friends, well, it's important to communicate effectively with them. And let's go right into it. So actually, before I explain the 6 rules, something you want to get is what is a conversation made up of? So it's actually a balance of talking to people and listening to people. But in today's society, what a lot of people do is the first way, which is just talking to people. But you also have to remember to listen, because you want to you want to speak into that person's listening by listening to what they've said and then communicate that way. And these 6 rules will definitely help you do that. First rule is obviously one of the most important, is don't multitask while you're trying to converse with someone. So if you're trying to message someone at the same time as someone's trying to talk to you and you try to talk to them, never happens and never goes well. Try to recall in a time that happened to you when you're trying to have a conversation with someone, but they're on their phone, and it just ruins the vibe. It ruins everything. So, and maybe you don't want to be in that conversation, but be authentic and let them know that, let's catch up another time, or whatever you need to tell them. But if you don't, what I always say is don't be half in. You want to be all in when you're listening or when you're conversing with people. Second thing is use open-ended questions. So who, what, when, where, and why. Instead of asking, just to give you a quick example, instead of asking, did that make you feel angry? Instead you should ask, how did that make you feel? Because if you ask, did that make you feel angry? Someone's either going to reply yes or no. But if you ask an open-ended question like, how did that make you feel? Then you get to hear the authenticity behind how it actually made them feel. So it's super, super important to ask open-ended questions. You'll notice that the conversation gets more authentic and more real, not just to the person, but to yourself as well. Third thing here is go with the flow. So listen and don't interrupt with what's going through your head. So for instance, I know a lot of you guys can relate to this. I can even relate to this. You're having a conversation with someone, and all of a sudden a bunch of these thoughts pop in your head, and you want to say one of those things. So you either interrupt the person, or all you're thinking of is that thought. So when they're done talking, you can say it. I want you to, eliminate that. I want you to sit and just listen to the person. Don't interrupt them. After they're done talking, you can say what you wanted to say. That's a huge, huge, huge thing that a lot of people have problems with, is they have these thoughts that pop in their head while someone's talking, and they really want to say it, but it comes off as, you're interrupting and it's rude and you're not really listening to them. So avoid that at all costs. Fourth thing here is, if you don't know, what they're saying or what they're talking about, then just say that you don't know. If you don't know something they said, be honest and authentic in saying that you really don't know about that, or you don't know whatever the situation is. And the reason why this is important is because, have you ever actually essentially told a lie saying that you did know it, and you felt that the conversation was a lot awkward? Or maybe you said you did know that, and then they started asking more questions about that, and then you didn't know the answer, and they definitely knew that you were lying. So just be authentic when you're having a conversation with people. If you really don't know what they said, for instance, they said, I just bought a new McLaren or whatever. Did you know about the engine? I'm just giving you an example. And you said yes, but then they started asking a bunch more questions about it, and you didn't know because you don't know anything about cars. So it's really important to be authentic, and if you don't know something, because then you'll have the person talking more about it, educating you on the matter essentially, and it becomes more of an authentic conversation. So remember that one. The fifth one here is you don't want to equate your experience or their experiences with yours. So what do I mean by that? It's not okay for you to say, someone's telling you a story about, my grandmother just died, and then you say in return, well, yeah, my grandmother died last, year, and it was, it was very dreadful, and you're trying to equate your experience with theirs. It's never ever the same. It's actually, to be honest, and in my opinion, really rude, because you're trying to make yourself feel important by communicating that and equating their experience with yours. So avoid that. Just listen, tune in, and hear what they have to say about their experience, and don't relate it to an experience you've had. Number 6, final one, most important one out of all of it. Kind of already touched on it. It's listen. Just be genuine when you listen. Again, this goes back to I think it was rule number 3. You don't want to interrupt someone when you have these thoughts going into your head. You just want to listen and be present. That's a huge problem that we have in today's society. People just want to talk, but it's more, like I said, it's more of a balance than anything. And again, you don't want to always just keep listening and not talking, because that's not communicating effectively. You want to have that balance so you can talk and speak at the same time. But the only way you're going to talk is if you're going to be listening to what that other person's saying, so then you can say in return and touch on that subject. So at the end of the day, you just got to be present. Be present in the conversation. So guys, I hope you use these 6 rules to be able to communicate a lot more effectively. And if you're in business, I can promise you, your business will flourish if you can communicate effectively and use these 6 rules. Now, I want to also give you guys a gift. If you haven't read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, highly recommend it. I have the book downloaded on my laptop. If you guys want it, message me personally, and I will email it to you. It's probably one of the first personal development books I've ever read, and it did wonders for me. It completely changed my perspective on communicating with other people, and it helped me connect with people on a whole new level, because now I'm able to listen to people and genuinely care about them. And I highly recommend this book. Go out and buy it. If you don't want to buy it, send me a message and I'll email it to you guys personally. Other than that, I want to thank everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share right below. That way, if you got some value out of this, other people can also get some value, and they can start communicating effectively. So guys, enjoy the rest of your day.